Obama has brought his campaign for a military strike against Syria to Europe. Arriving in Sweden on a flying visit ahead of the G20 summit in St. Petersburg, he said the world could not stay silent in the face of evidence of the use of chemical weapons against civilians. But Russia's President Vladimir Putin warned that if the US Congress approves the use of force without UN approval, it will be guilty of an act of aggression. Our foreign affairs correspondent, Jonathan Miller, has this report from Washington.
If you don't have a mask, you don't come close.
Fresh footage posted online today shows the UN chemical weapons inspectors at work, measuring munitions, collecting samples. Inside what looks like a residential block, an abandoned apartment, they force their way in. The warning tone sounds on their electronic detector, indicating the probable presence of chemical warfare agents. This site does not appear to have been tampered with. Experts say this rocket is unknown to them, but it's been photographed before in the Syrian conflict, and it's been linked to earlier possible chemical attacks. All grist to the mill of this man, who flew across the Atlantic last night, a man on a mission, on a diplomatic offensive, but somehow sounding defensive.
My credibility is not on the line. The international community's credibility is on the line. I didn't set a red line. The world set a red line. The world set a red line when governments representing 98% of the world's population said the use of chemical weapons are abhorrent.
From Stockholm, he'll head to St. Petersburg for the G20 summit, but a one-to-one with Vladimir Putin is not on his schedule. From what the Russian president said today, though, it sounds like the two need to talk.
If you became convinced,
a journalist asks if he'd support a military strike if he could be convinced Assad did it. I don't exclude this, he says, but only the UN Security Council can sanction such an attack. No UN, and use of force can only be seen as an aggressive and inadmissible act. In the absence of the US Commander-in-Chief, the conflicted lawmakers on Capitol Hill are right now considering a new resolution authorizing that use of force, but imposing a 90-day limit. Deep under the Hill, the Congress Express, shuttling senators to the Foreign Relations Committee above.
This is one of the biggest issues any senator will ever weigh in on, and let's make sure we do this the right way.
Does it concern the committee, sir, that others see the United States as being out of kilter with international opinion on the legality of such an action?
I think it should bother the world that at the United Nations, where we have tried time after time after time, including with Great Britain, to offer resolutions, including just simply condemning the use of chemical weapons, that they have been vetoed by Russia.
What does it mean to you that Vladimir Putin and Ban Ki-moon have said any proposed action of the sort you want would be illegal under international law?
Knowing those individuals, I pay no attention to it. History does not bear out their allegation.
Well, that really couldn't be any clearer. While Vladimir Putin says he doesn't rule out backing a UN resolution, and while both he and the UN Secretary General say that a US-led military strike would be illegal without one, America's senatorial hawks really don't care. But Secretary of State John Kerry is still encountering stiff resistance as he tries to build support for the most robust resolution possible. And public resistance too. Protesters invading his latest appearance in Congress. A poll out today shows 60% of Americans oppose launching strikes. Yet the evidence continues to build. As the world awaits the verdict of the weapons inspectors, news that German intelligence claims to have intercepted a call from a Hezbollah official in Beirut to Iranian diplomats there, in which he says Assad had lost his nerve and made a big mistake by ordering the attack. Every mind changed by such evidence will make a big difference to Barack Obama, whether they're in the Kremlin, on Capitol Hill, or Main Street, US of A. Jonathan Miller, Channel 4 News, Washington.